Hello families, let's get started talking about all things involving your child's computer and how to use it. So whether you're new or you just need a refresher, we're going to go through the various steps on how you log into the computer and how you join a network and how you get to the various links that your child's going to need to visit for various sites. And we're going to go through one in particular, which is Google Meet, which is very useful for both children and parents. All right, so starting with the computer itself, this is what it looks like. It's a Chromebook, and you may have already taped or put in a Post-it note or a note card taped to the front or the inside your child's credentials. Especially when they're younger, like in kindergarten or first grade, they're going to forget their information all the time. So it's not a bad idea to tape that too on the front or on the inside when you open it up. But make sure that it's not permanent or that it's easy to remove and change, because those credentials change sometimes. The username will stay the same, but the password may change from year to year. So if you're having trouble logging in because you're using the one from the year before, that may be the reason why you just need to call and get the new updated password for your child. Now, what's on the left side of the computer? Well, you're going to see this little icon that looks like a plug, and that's going to be for the charger. So you plug one end to your outlet and the other end into this. You'll see a light turn on. It might be a little faint or hard to see, but there's a way you can confirm that on the inside where you see a battery icon. We'll talk about that later. And there's a USB port. This is a combi jack for a headset, so it can be a microphone, a headphones, or a headset with a microphone attached that uses a 3.5 millimeter or 1/8 inch or mini jack, as they're known. 3 different names for this kind of size of jack. Also, some headsets just use USB, so you may not need to use that. Now on the right side, this is how you turn it on. You can adjust the volume here, as you can see. You can also click on this button just once. Don't hold it, just click it once. And this is the universal symbol for shutting down or powering on or off a device. And then another USB port, and that's all you're going to need to know. Now, we'll talk about forced shutdowns later on in the video, but you should just be shutting down from inside the computer. That's the correct way to shut down and power down your computer. Now, if you've never logged in your child's computer before, you may get this screen show up, which tells you that there's no network available. That means you have to connect to a Wi-Fi network. So you'll see a list of them available within the area, and if you're at home, you should see yours show up. And then you can just click on it and enter the password, and then you hit connect. It's as simple as that. Now, if you don't see yours here, you may have to add it manually, so you can click on Add Other Wi-Fi Network, and then you'll just have to enter this information on your own. You'll have to remember what the name is of the network, and then you put in the password. If you have to choose security, it's either going to be WEP or WPA are the most common ones for most home networks, but you can just try different ones if you're not sure. And you can click on the eye icon to the right to actually see the characters that you're typing, if that makes it easier for you to not make a mistake. And then just hit connect. And now we're going to get to the step where you sign into the Chromebook, and so then you just have to click next here. So don't do a click on sign in with a different account, just click next to be taken to a new screen that for those of you who were here before, you may not remember seeing at the beginning, but now you have to type in your child's full username, which is their username plus @bcps.org at the end. So it's that full one that looks like an email address. So don't forget to add @bcps.org because it's expecting some kind of an email, and it suffices. And then just click next when you're done entering that. So then you type in the password at this point, and then you hit sign in. And now you're going to get a screen that's going to basically just say, hey, do you want to reduce the number of times you're asked to sign in? And it may do that, it may not, but it doesn't hurt to click say, don't show this again, and hit yes. At the very least, you may not get this screen or this prompt that many times. Now that we are logged into the computer, it's just a matter of opening up a Google Chrome browser through this circular multicolor icon right here, which you're probably very familiar with. That's Google Chrome. There are no other browsers on Chromebooks. Before we do that, though, we're going to go to this menu over here in the bottom right corner, which shows the battery icon with the lightning bolt because I have it plugged in and charging right now. It has the time and also shows whether you're connected to Wi-Fi or not. Well, if you click on that, you're going to see some more options. Like, for example, you can sign out of your current session or you can shut it down. This is the universal shutdown symbol, which you're going to see on the next to the button on the exterior to turn on the computer. It also shuts it down, but you don't want a forced shutdown. Forced shutdown is where you press that same button that you used to turn on and you hold it for a few seconds till the computer shuts down. And that's good to do only when your computer is unresponsive and you have no other option to escape. And then your settings are going to be here, which we're not going to go to right now. But if you still need to connect to a Wi-Fi network, this is where you can do it. It'll show you that there's no Wi-Fi still, and you can just click on the downward arrow to see a list of all your different networks. When they're in school, usually they're going to be connected, like as you see here, to BCPS Secure. But if you don't see your home network or wherever you are, a network you can connect to, you can always add it manually by clicking on the Join Other Wi-Fi Networks symbol here, and then you just enter the information. And then you hit connect when you're done. All right, so if you want to get out of that menu, you just click on anywhere space outside of that dialog box that opens up. Now we're going to go open up Google Chrome. If everything's configured correctly and google.com is your homepage, you can just click in the URL bar, just put in google.com if that's not the case. But you should see your child's initial or initials in a circle in the upper right corner of the Google homepage. If you do not, or you see a circle and then like a shadow, a figure of a person or a shadow inside of it, that means that they're not connected. You have to add their account. So you just click on that circle and there should be an option from a little box that opens up to add an account. And then you just put in the same credentials you used to log into this computer. The email, quote unquote, is going to be the username that ends with @bcps.org. And then you put in the password. And then you just maybe need to restart the Google Chrome browser and then you should see it. If you have issues with that, do let us know. Check over to the upper left side. There's this BCPS links bookmark folder on the bookmarks bar. Just click on that and you're going to see a variety of pages in which you're going to want to visit. These are some of the common things that your kids may or may not need to access, so you don't have to type it into the URL bar. The first one is Schoology, which is where your child's work is going to be by class, their electronic work, and you can check assignment completion by class. And then Focus is the next important thing, because for parents particularly, you can check student absences, report cards, you can even update student contact information there. So that's really important. And then the Google Meet is really important because even if their students are now no longer doing any virtual classes, they may once in a while still need to do that. There may be an incident or a circumstance that closes school, or your child has to stay home, or maybe you as a parent want to sign in using your child's credentials because you've been invited to a school information workshop, or you want to join a team meeting like an IEP team as an option and you can't go to the school. So Google Meet is important. So you just click on Google Meet here instead of having to type in the top the URL bar, and it'll take you right to it. And then you just enter the code of the meeting that you're going to, whether you're a parent or your child, if they're doing virtual learning for any reason, they put in the corresponding code for the class at the time of day. Now, for most grades here at Norwood, you only have a homeroom teacher. That's going to be the majority of the person you're with for time. But there's going to be those special areas like gym and music and art. Those are classes that are going to rotate depending on the day. And so if you actually have to do any temporary virtual learning or anything like that, you will be given that information. You will be given a schedule that tells you when to connect to those different special classes and those codes pertaining to those teachers. So let's just say, for example, my code is code 7. And so I'm going to join that. And you just hit join. And you're going to see a preview screen. And here you can temporarily activate or deactivate your microphone or your camera. I'm going to leave the camera off for now. But you can just do that before you join, and then you hit join now, and there you connect. Now, if you have any issues with this, where let's say your camera is not activating no matter what you do, or problems with the microphone, or your camera's the wrong camera. Sometimes there's two cameras and you're not looking at the right camera and it's a different view. Those are all things that we have solutions for. So you may want to watch a video or two that talks about those specific issues, which will be in the description of this video, or you can click on it if the link is available on the screen. Either way, that is all for this introductory video of using your child's computer. I hope this was helpful, and if you ever have any questions, do not hesitate to reach out to the school.